I think they should trade him. If you could get your hands on somebody like, I said it, but I'm talking about from a talent perspective, particularly come playoff time, I'd rather have Karl-Anthony Towns than Julius Randle. And you know how I feel. I know he's 32 years old. You know what I would give to get my hands on Jake?
There was a trade between the Knicks, the New York Knicks, and the Minnesota Timberwolves, where Karl-Anthony Towns was traded for Julius Randle and Donte DiVincenzo. So my thing is, who do y'all believe won the trade?
Minnesota Timberwolves won this trade
because
the New York Knicks are not patient. I know I usually like y'all to go first, but I had this on my mind. To me, it just wasn't a smart trade. I feel like both of this was panic on both sides. Both of them seemed the need to want to improve because they made deep playoff runs and they didn't want to use that juice going into next year. So while the Timberwolves panicked because they was tired of Cat getting all the criticism, they know their star is Ant now. And they can sacrifice having Ant with Gobert until they're ready to get rid of Gobert. But they seen the opportunity to replace a Cat with a person with his caliber who can still shoot the long ball, who can go to the basket. But for Julius Randle, on the other hand, New York Knicks just was fucking impatient because Julius Randle got hurt the last 2 seasons and he wasn't there. Because I feel like if Julius Randle there, it would have been Knicks and Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. But y'all so impatient and y'all act like Julius Randle ain't gonna come back and get busy next year that y'all like, we gotta get somebody now. And then Cat gets hurt too. So you mean to tell me you give up Julius Randle, you give up DiVincenzo and a third person?
And they gave up some picks too.
For Cat and what?
Just Cat?
Just Cat? You mean to tell me Cat is revolved? No. All I'm saying is we seen at most of the season most of the playoff run had Cat. Cat wasn't doing shit, but he had Cat. Yeah. There was no Julius Randle since March.
Exactly.
There was no Julius Randle. You had to get adjusted to the DiVincenzo, to the Josh Hart. Yes.
Playing 48 minutes.
To me, honestly, I think this takes a step back. I think this takes a step back because DiVincenzo became one of those two-way players that was ready on the three-point line, but also playing hard defense. I feel like the intensity of having all those Villanova Wildcats together made all of them step up because they played together. They've won championships together, so they knew how to do. So not only did you bring up the Villanova 4, but now you'd have brought a softer player, big man, to the Knicks. Julius Randle wasn't the most consistent as far as his shooting, but as far as being aggressive, going after it, and not always settling for the three, Julius Randle will give you get that motherfucking ball, triple threat with that left hand, and go try to get a bucket before he settle for three. Cat fucking sit on the 3-point line and just wait.
I think they should trade him. If you could get your hands on somebody like, I said it. Okay. Did I stutter, Victoria? Did I stutter?
No,
I didn't
you
stutter.
did not stutter.
Yeah, they should trade him. If you could get your hands on a car, now don't get me wrong. I'm talking basketball ability. Now, durability, I don't think anybody can compete with Julius Randle. He's been Mr. Reliable. Played the first 77 games of this season before he got injured. Played the last 5 games. So reliability, dependability in that regard, I can't sniff at that. But I'm talking about from a talent perspective, particularly come playoff time, I'd rather have Karl-Anthony Towns than Julius Randle. And you know how I feel.
I don't agree. But y'all go ahead.
I just thought they did Julius Randle dirty.
I agree with that too.
I agree with that.
Julius Randle was the first person to help build that team up, get them back to the playoffs before they even got Brunson. Yeah. And look what DiVincenzo did last year when Julius Randle was out. Probably averaged 20 points a game while he was out. And y'all just traded both of them for just Cat.
Just Cat.
Just Cat.
And I'm not going to agree and disagree. I'm not going to say who won the trade yet because the Timberwolves just made the West Conference Finals. So I'm not going to say.
Yeah. I'm going to say Timberwolves won the trade because they did make the West Conference Finals. Right. And now losing Cat, you about to get 2 extra players.
Personnel-wise, I'll say they won
whereas we seen what Brunson did without any big man.
Yeah.
So you can't come in here giving me 15, 17 points, my nigga, because Julius was giving me that anyway. And when he wasn't giving it to me, Isaiah Hartenstein stepped up. Josh Hart gave me 10 to 15. Nigga, I can't have you over here just taking up 35 minutes to give me 15 and 7, bro.
Yeah. So they just lost. So the Knicks just lost Julius Randle, DiVincenzo, and Hartenstein. Because Hartenstein's on the.
He's on the Thunder.
Yeah, he's on the Thunder. And they just lost some picks. So your draft about to be nasty.
But I think this could work for the Timberwolves. It could be like that one season when Randle was on the Pelicans with AD. Almost forgot about that.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
But to be honest, I feel like in all actuality, Cat needed to go. He needed to go. I just don't need. I don't need
to go. They was trying to push him.
I don't know.
They were trying to push both of them out.
It was the same thing.
Let me tell you why he needed to go.
Brunson came
Let me tell you why he needed to go. Because he's a number one fucking pick, and he's had 6-7 years to get it together. And Nas Reed has shown I may not be a Cat, a number one player,
more
but
aggressive than Cat.
Solid double, and I can be aggressive. Whereas you can bring in another nigga like Julius Randle to be the aggressive forward, and let Nas Reed be the starting center. And Ant be that. I don't think they need Gobert or Cat anymore. You had your 2 years to test them out. The Twin Towers ain't fucking working because honestly, the only series it worked against was against the Nuggets.
And I don't think it worked against the Nuggets. The Nuggets just was missing shots.
Yeah. In my opinion,
and love.
What really worked this year was the offense and the chemistry.
Everybody was
that's what I'm saying. It looked like an impatient trade from both sides.
You just made it to the West.
Both of teams could have waited and seen what happened another season on that belt.
It looked like Timberwolves got impatient with either Cat, Gobert, or both. And it was like, and it was like, Knicks, who you want?
And get to that certain point, time to let that other start.
And Knicks was like,
this about to be Cat Tim season?
Yeah, and we was like, Knicks was probably like, oh, this is the second year in a row we ain't had Julius Randle for the main part when it mattered. So I felt like you said, it was an impatient rush. Let's just take a chance. Neither one needed to do that. Neither one. I feel like the Timberwolves could have been patient. They could have started the season with the same team, and then eventually one of either Cat or Gobert would have got traded eventually.
Yeah, I want to know what was their thing about trade. So, what aren't you going to get from Cat that you going to get from Julius Randle? On the other hand, the Knicks talking about they wanted the big man. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm basically saying.
Because Julius was hitting threes.
What wasn't Julius Randle doing that Cat is going to give you if Cat basically hit Julius Randle hit the 3 too?
I think it's going to be more spacing with Cat.
I guess. But if it's gonna be more space, you need Mitchell Robinson to fucking stay in the game and not get foul trouble.
He get hurt every year.
That's basically what I'm saying.
Mitchell Robinson's a damn good rebounder and he's a good defender. If he's doing that and they space the floor like he should have been in the Timberwolves, it can work. But if Mitchell Robinson continues to be the nigga get hurt and there's no more Hartenstein, then Cat, you gotta get your ass down bottom and now it just looks the same.
And then it's like a lot of the fans, I guess a lot of fans really don't pay attention to basketball. It's like they just straight pushing Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson is a star, but Julius Randle was still averaging 22 points and basically 10 rebounds. You act like he wasn't doing that.
That last season, they showed the stat. He was one of 7 players in NBA history. Some stat I can't remember.
The thing about Brunson is, I feel
the 5 or 6.
Brunson is a star, but I feel like Brunson's ascension to a star wasn't natural. Brunson was pushed into being a star.
He was pushed into it.
Players were hurt. And he was the type of motherfucker that was 10 toes, I'ma step up. Whereas other secondary players don't. When Luka was hurt, motherfucker went off in that playoff series. They didn't trust him. Knicks didn't want him. He went to the Knicks, showed off over the last year. So it's like he's the type of nigga where I'm not coming into the spotlight to be the star, but if the star ain't there, nigga, then I am the star now. Yeah, that type of nigga, and I respect that from him.
Mm-hmm. And like y'all said, both sides are just impatient. And I feel like
he's the type of player where if Cat's the type of nigga coming there balling, he will let Cat be the star because he's never been the nigga that needs to be. He's the star when you're not being the star.
Well, maybe we'll see Cat post up more. Like you said they want more spacing. Which Jermaine Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson just dribbled the ball out.
I ain't seen a good post player in New York since Melo. Yeah, even Julius Randle post up from the 3.
They said they want the good center, but Karl-Anthony Towns all he like to do is shoot threes. We gonna see if he
Julius would post up from the 3 and then back you down and drive. He would back you down halfway and then try to drive past you. But yeah.
Well, yeah, I agree with both of you, but I think that both sides were just too impatient. When, like, the Timberwolves just made the conference finals,
and the Knicks could have made the conference finals.
They could have. So you could have waited another year to see if you could build on that same team with Anthony Edwards a year older, again, basically becoming a superstar if he's not already. Exactly. And you still got, like you said, Stifle, go back with Karl-Anthony Towns. Let's see what they could have built on. And like you said, Julius Randle was just hurt. Who knows? The Knicks probably would have made the conference finals. And now you're giving up DiVincenzo, like you said, a 2-way player.
Yeah, bro, that makes them Timberwolves look good.
That makes the Timberwolves look good.
Them depth this year.
They have depth and more defense.
It makes them even more dangerous.
Yeah.
That's why I say I like that. as far as the Eastern Conference, I look at how the Sixers just made some signings. How the Bucks got Dame and Giannis coming back. So to me, how the Celtics is basically bringing the whole fucking team back. So when I look at that, Knicks, how are you really winning when you're bringing a softer player, in my opinion?
And like you said, you still got the stout 76ers.
Whereas the Timberwolves exponentially got
Pacers,
better.
Bucks.
Like, I feel like while it was impatient, they took
push.
advantage of an opportunity.
Let's not push Bridges to the side either.
Maybe
Maybe they think the personnel will work better.
He's like the prototypical
Towns.
role
Maybe that's
player.
what they
Bridges and OG Anunoby the same
He's
player.
the complimentary role player. You know the way y'all had Jason Terry.
I actually think Anunoby's better.
At any given time, Mikal Bridges can get busy, but to me, he's mostly a defensive player. I honestly agree with Tell. I feel like
Anunoby's better.
I feel like Anunoby and Mikal
Bridges
focus on defense, but I feel like Anunoby actually works on his
why the Suns went
weaknesses.
to the finals against the Bucks.
And what happened?
Because he was a caliber compliment to Booker.
To Booker and Chris Paul. And don't forget, Jay Crowder was on that.
But once you got on his own team, you realize it was just Mikal Bridges. He wasn't a star.
And dominating, as you want to call him.
He has never been a star in his 2 years on the Nets.
He was only on that for 2 years.
If anybody was a star, it was Cam Thomas when he came in the game. Cam Thomas was more of a star anytime he came in the game than Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges was consistent.
I wasn't even
But
saying
Mikal Bridges can give you 15 points.
Bridges was averaging what, 18 points a game?
Yeah. But that's the thing.
20.
About 20?
He was one of those type of players where his stats never equated to wins.
Right, that's what Bridges is.
Devin and John E. the best season player ever, or the best practice player ever.
The Nets ain't make no playoffs.
They never made the playoffs since
No, they didn't.
They played Philly in the first round of the playoffs.
Oh, the year he got traded for KD? That's because they was already good before they made the trade.
They traded him. That was at the trade deadline. KD already had their ass number 4 in the fucking conference.
And what happened last season? His whole season. They didn't make it.
Nah, they was nasty last year.
They was nasty. Like you saw,
they ain't had the same team no more.
They had Mikal Bridges.
They have Mikal Bridges, who they think is a star player.
Cam Johnson missed a whole bunch of times.
Ain't
none of them a star. They both role players. Mikal Bridges definitely better than Cam Johnson though.
I was just saying he was missing.
Mikal Bridges definitely better than Cam Johnson though. But they both role players.
Cam Johnson is Trevor Ariza without the defense.
So what's Mikal Bridges?
Bruce Bond with a jumper. Alright, that wasn't me, my fault.
Mikal Bridges, you're a little bit better than that.
Mikal Bridges like Steven Jackson.
Steven Jackson, way better than Mikal Bridges.
Like the Steven Jackson he was on Golden State, Captain Jack.
Yeah.
Remember how
Mikal Bridges Golden State
Captain Jack?
Yeah.
That's what Mikal Bridges.
That's Mikal Bridges.
And then when he left the Spurs to go to Golden State and the other teams, he was a star player, but he wasn't a star. He was the star player of that team. That's what Mikal Bridges reminded me of. The way Captain Jack left the Spurs and
the Warriors just had a good team. I was scared of that team anyway, and they ended up playing us and we lost.
Like so they basically just getting Mikal Bridges the place of Donte DiVincenzo.
All right, we got it.
How does Julius fit with this team?
You know, Malika, I was kind of surprised over the last week at how many executives I talked to who felt like the Timberwolves won this trade, which is not something that you would expect to hear when, most people would agree the best player in the trade went to the Knicks. But I think what they are reacting to is that the way the Wolves were able to rebalance their roster in this trade, get Julius Randle, get DiVincenzo, who helps them off the bench, give Rob Dillingham, their lottery pick, some time where he's not maybe needed as much out of the gate with this, and also reduce their long-term payroll for a guy in Karl Towns who had a really big contract. And so the big thing will be, what is Julius Randle's role playing alongside Naz Reid and Rudy Gobert, and is he a long-term fit there? Does he sign an extension later this year? Does he pick up his player option? But I think a lot of people feel like the Wolves improved themselves short and medium term in this deal.